Certainly a lot of people wanted you to run.
Oh, I have boxes of letters, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, asking me to run. A lot of them came in after I'd made my decision, not to run. But many people ask, can you run? Is it writing, can you run as an independent? And I made the decision not to for a whole variety of reasons, and that's where we are today.
I'm not sure, but did you or did you not endorse anybody for this election season?
I did not endorse specifically any of the candidates running for the House or Senate.
A conscious decision?
Either party.
A conscious decision? Did anybody seek your endorsement?
Yeah, they sought my endorsement, and it was a conscious decision, particularly in the case of the Senate race. I did not believe that Christine O'Donnell represented all the Republican Party should have as far as a candidate is concerned. So I decided not to endorse her, plus obviously some of the personal things that were very difficult to swallow. I did endorse the Republican ticket as a whole, and obviously I was very supportive of Colin Meaney and Todd Wagner and all the local candidates. And I spent most of the last few weeks working with the local candidates, unfortunately sometimes unsuccessfully, but we tried to help them and go out and knock on doors and do what we could.
Let's talk about the state of the Republican Party here in Delaware. How is your party doing? Is it the same party that you were part of 40 years ago?
Well, today is a very hard day to sit here and say the Republican Party is doing well in Delaware. Obviously, it's not, nor is it necessarily the same party as it was even 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I personally believe that the Tea Party movement was not as rejected in Delaware philosophically as was the candidacy of the candidate for the Senate and the House. That was, as we know, the Senate candidate got a lot of national attention or whatever, and I think people did not like some of that attention and rejected it for that reason. But the concept of doing more to help to balance our budgets, to reduce deficit spending, some of the things the Tea Party people were asking for made sense, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. It just wasn't a very well-sold message as far as Delaware is concerned. So I think the party needs to rebuild. There are going to be geographic issues, between the various counties, upstate, downstate. Who can run and win, as I've indicated. It's fine to have good Republican candidates, but they better be able to appeal to independents or Democrats, so they're not going to get elected in this state. And then you get into the question that's been asked several times all over this country in the last few months. Would you rather have a Republican House or Senate or whatever it may be, or would you rather have somebody who is a strong conservative, run for the office, whether they get elected or not? And there were many people who said, the likes of Mike Castle, who's a moderate and a little more independent, is not what we want. A person like Senator Jim DeMint from South Carolina has said that. And, therefore we'd rather somebody who's more pure, whether they win or not. And that's part of the decision making. But a political party, in my judgment, should be built and should be able to be supportive of candidates who can win, particularly in Delaware, on a statewide basis.
How does the Republican Party going forward kind of fold in the Tea Partiers? How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Can they work together?
I think so. I mean, the Tea Party made some serious errors. One of them was a candidate against Harry Reid. I thought almost anybody could beat Harry Reid, and they nominated somebody who could not do it. That happened in Delaware as well. Not saying that anybody could have won in Delaware, but it was possible, and yet the nominee, did not have the credentials to be able to win a Senate race, and that was a problem. So just being a Tea Party person is not necessarily the answer in terms of winning elections, but some of the Tea Party concepts are very significant and I think important. I mean, we have to recover economically. If there is an issue out there, it is the economy, it's jobs that just prevailed in this particular election. And I think less spending by the federal government is a significant message. I think Democrats and Republicans got that, and I think the Tea Party was selling that message to a fairly strong degree. So I think they had a decent message in some instances, but it doesn't mean you need to pick as your candidate somebody who's so ideologically committed to whatever it is that they want that there's no flexibility or room to pick up people from other parties.
A little too extreme. Now, would you ever consider switching parties in the future?
No, I would not consider switching parties. I was elected as a Republican at a young age. I'm now not in office as a Republican at an older age. I don't intend to switch. I believe in Republican Party principles, and I believe that some adjustments may need to be made. But I also believe that we need to serve people. We need to educate well. We need to take care of those who have problems in our society. We need obviously to create economic opportunity, and I don't think the Republican Party has done a very good job with that in the last 10 years. Now, I think that the Republican Party will do better now. I believe that President Obama will do better now. I think a divided government is actually positive in terms of solutions, and this hopefully will force them all to sit down and talk to each other. And candidly, I don't think Republicans or Democrats were talking to each other in the last 2 years or the first 2 years of Obama's administration.
I want to get to that in just a moment, but I don't recall seeing a speech where Mike Castle is officially retired. Might you run for something in the future, mayor of a very small town or anything like that?
Well, Hal Haskell ran for mayor of Wilmington after he'd been in Congress, but I don't intend to do that. I have no idea if I would ever seek political office again. I certainly don't intend to. I have no plans to. I hope to be able to help Republicans. I have many friends in the legislature who are both Republicans and Democrats. I have many individuals I've helped, continue to try to help them. But I would be very surprised to ever see my name on a ballot again.
You would be very surprised, but I don't hear a never.
You never say never. So I doubt if I will, but who knows?
All right, now you still have time there in Congress. I still got a couple of months here. What is your top priority?
Well, my top priority is first of all to issue at some point things I would like to see get done that are not done at this point, and I haven't developed all that yet. Secondly, to go down for the 10 days that we're supposed to be in session and make sure that we cast the right votes. As far as the so-called lame duck session is concerned, that'll be the week before Thanksgiving week and the week after Thanksgiving week. And I imagine some of the tax bills they've been talking about and a few other things will come up. I don't think much will come up because I think the Democrats are going to be very leery of trying to do too much based on these election results. But I was very interested, obviously, in issues of education, and we didn't get the rewrite of No Child Left Behind done, but I've been working on that and hope to continue with respect to that.
Those things kind of get pushed to the side.
Well, they do, and it's unfortunate because that's a very important issue. I mean, the concept of No Child Left Behind was actually a good concept, and that is helping educate better. But
is that going to continue here, or is that going to die here in the next few years?
No, it'll continue because it's really a rewrite of something called the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, and that's really what the federal role in education is. And the Race to the Top program, which you may have heard of, is going to be part of the new Elementary and Secondary Education Act. And we've been working with the Secretary of Education on trying to advance these issues. And when I say we, it's Republicans and Democrats. It's one of the few efforts I know of where we all would sit down in the room and try to work together. So hopefully that will continue. It'll be after I'm out of office, but it will continue into next year. So that's important. I think dealing with the economic issues is of vital importance. There are going to be probably some environmental questions we have to look at. I've got one that I haven't even mentioned ever before, and that is the possibility of eliminating the penny. The experts will tell you that it costs us, it may even be in the billions now, but at least in hundreds of millions of dollars a year to make pennies, and we sell them for a penny and we lose money on it because of the cost of actually making the penny. We actually lose money on the nickel too.
Think you'll mention that in the next few weeks?
I'm thinking about it. I've dealt with coinage and have some credibility in that area. On the other hand, some people don't like the idea of changing our money around.
We can't get rid of our penny, can we?
So maybe we can't get rid of our penny. It's
too
difficult.
symbolic.
Well, that may be correct, and that for that reason I may not do it. But nonetheless, it's costing the government a lot of money now.